the convo we were having about all the different ways men can meet women and the more ideal scenarios and stuff, you talked about parties and getting indicators of interest and being able to like manufacture that through social proof, pre-selection and leader of men and all that different stuff. That's always been what I discovered along my journey is look, thank you, Coach Kyle and all of these guys that are still to this day somehow just like harping on this cold approach thing, but that has its place
Yeah.
for a little while. And then there's a better overarching strategy that brings in things like business connections and money making opportunities and like, God forbid, guys, best friends,
God forbid.
people that you can collaborate with and share real, camaraderie and memories with, but nobody wants to talk about that. The one way that nobody ever thought of is just direct response advertising. Like nobody ever considers like of all the ways to meet women, there's a million and one ways. What got overlooked, and that's what I really realized is like there's this whole overlooked segment, which is direct advertising, which might sound ridiculous, but like I said, we're bringing out the big guns now because it's gotten to a point where the big guns are required. Like this is becoming what's necessary.
Well, I've always said that if you want to succeed at dating, just go against the herd. Do what everybody else is not doing. Right. And it doesn't matter what the thing is. It just matters how many other guys are doing it. Right. Because if it's dating apps, everybody's doing it. And that means it's not working for anybody except like the top whatever percentage. Right. When day game worked really well, it's because no guys were doing it. Everyone was too scared. You can't talk to a girl during the day. You got to approach her at a bar. Right. And then everyone started doing day game. And now it's even... I think day game is great for building your confidence and getting over your fear of rejection. Helps to build your frame, but it's a very shitty, low ROI way to actually meet women, right? And if you're talking about 8, 9s, and 10s, good luck, right? And there's something to be said about you got to succeed with the 6s and 7s first, fair. But as a strategy and return on investment and time, it's just cold approaching ain't it, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's running Instagram ads. At least not for social stuff, right?
Right.
And that's why it works, because no one's doing it. Simple as that, I think.
Yeah. I mean, and so this is essentially what's going on here. I mean, the reason that it works so well is it's not an exploit of the Instagram ad system, but it's a version of essentially like using it for a purpose that is subverting expectations as pattern interruption. And then it's very new and it's very novel. And so that's where we're getting like really extremely outsized returns. And it's just very high leverage. And it's just, I don't know, man, this is just the evolution of the game. This is just how the same way we, came from creatures of the depth. Like this is just what's happening with dating.
Yeah.
But, I mean, say you're a guy, you live in a city, you just drop a pin within a 5-mile radius from you, because here's the reality. Like no matter where you are, even if you're in a small town, within a 5-mile radius of where you're at right now, there's probably 1 or 2 girls that would be really like amazing girlfriend material. Maybe even more. Like if you're in a big city, there's going to be like tens of thousands that are like just within a 5-mile radius to you that are viable. And then from where you're sitting right now, from wherever you're listening to this call on, within 5 miles of you is someone that'll buy your product, somebody that'll collaborate on, content with you or whatever it is. Like everybody's around you. Like what you have is actually in your backyard. You don't need to be a passport bro. You don't have to go to Colombia. Like these people are here. Like they're around you. It's just a matter of like, how are you getting to them? How do you reach them? You can do the cold approaching, but like, who's leaving the house and taking the time to do that? You could use the apps, but then you're dealing with algorithms and all this different stuff. So why not do direct response marketing? So we just drop a pin within a 5-mile radius, maybe pick a couple different interests, right? Like entrepreneurs, if you want entrepreneurs, yoga girls, if you want yoga girls. And then depending on what you have around you or what you have access to, make a flyer that says rooftop party and, put in your city, rooftop party Charlotte, and just let that be seen by thousands of women around you. And then let them choose to opt into that just by sending you a message. Like the strategy it makes perfect sense. And here's the bad part, right? Here's the catch is you get all these messages and yes, they're going to be expecting a social opportunity. They're going to be expecting that you invite them to something fun that actually has other cool people. So yes, that means you have to plan something. Yes, this means that you have to invite people. You have to actually like create group chats with these people. You have to lead these people. Like you can't just get the DMs. And if you're one of the guys that's like, paying attention to my stuff or whatever, you can't just get the DMs and then bait and switch every girl that message you and try to just like get them onto a date.
Right.
Like you guys are trying to hack the fucking system and it's ridiculous. Like you're not willing to work hard. Like, and that's why you don't have the results that you want. Like you want these tens, but you have the work ethic of a four. So they're going to be expecting to be invited to something. But that's the premise of it. Like, that's it. You just get a bunch of messages from people that are interested in a rooftop party near you. You just invite them all. And then through that process, date a couple of them or build up your circle, build up your proof, like build it out. Like, have like this, the strategy is the long game.
Yeah.
And if you want to succeed with the right women, you have to play the long game. The more that you're short term, like, oh, like Raya, like it's just not gonna you just it's no wonder you can't build a business to millions and millions of dollars. It's just
Well, I love what you
that's what
say
it
about
takes.
delaying gratification, because the better I got, the more I started living by that. Even if I knew that I could probably get a date with a girl, the second I asked her on that date, now she knows I like her, right? Whereas if I invite her to an event, she doesn't know for sure I like her. She just knows that I want her to come to an event, right?
Yeah,
And what I notice is that if I just kept pushing off them knowing for sure that I like them and filled the environment with competition, other girls that were giving me signals, they would
yeah,
see all that and they would seek me out for sex, a relationship, and that put me in the driver's seat, and I could then dictate the terms of that relationship. Ultimately, I got to a place where I was like, I'm never going on a date again because fuck dates. Why would I do that? Right. um, and I'm going to just have as much fun with my buddies and invite as many cool girls along as possible. So no matter what, I'm going to have a great time. I'm going to have beautiful girls around. I'm going to be doing cool stuff. Easy to post high value content on Instagram when that's your life. And it just became ridiculously easy. But it was out of that delay of gratification and knowing, okay, I could get a date, but I'm actually not going to, because the end result is a weak frame and a girl who effectively wears the pants in the relationship. And yeah, like you can't just expect to turn on an Instagram ad and have a girlfriend, right? She's gonna, like, she still knows that there's competition out there. What I love about your system is it's so simple that it really gets the hardest part. Cause like I've been harping on building a social circle forever, right?
yeah,
And guys get hung up on like, well, where do the invites come from? And my
right,
answer is, well, you have to befriend cool guys and actually be willing to be friends with cute girls and not try to bang them all. Because if you're
yeah,
friends with them and there's a genuine connection, they will bring their girlfriends. And if it is something relatively cool, it doesn't have to be expensive or crazy. You could just go to the best place, like in your neighborhood or in your city, that's already high status, everyone goes to, and throw a little party within the party. And more people will come and you build it, and like business networking will come from that. All of the
yep,
things that you want in life will come from that. But what I
yeah,
love about your method is it's so fast to be like, well, we can just run an ad to get these people. And
yeah,
obviously there's going to be drop offs and a system that you have to take them to actually get them to show up. But that's also part of your offer, right? Where you're teaching
yeah.
guys how to sort of deal with the DMs that come in, how to get the right people to the
Yeah.
events.
Yeah, of course. And so that'll be a conversation where I'll ask you some questions about the fulfillment side of the leads, because I make a lot of parallels with my clients about looking at building a social circle like a business.
Yeah.
And it's very similar, especially when we're actually using marketing where there really are metrics and KPIs. So the way I explain
I love
the
that because I do the
DM,
same thing. It's so easy to make the metaphor, or the analogy.
and it's true though, like there's so many parallels. Like it's kind of almost the exact same thing. When it comes to receiving the inbound DMs from the ads, what I realize is that it's circumventing the entire approaching process,
Yeah.
right? Like the ad itself is a mechanism that is doing talking and telling and selling for you in a frame that's high value because it's an event or a party that you're hosting. It's tied to your account. So that alone can be enough that would have gotten you through the first 5-10 minutes of like a cold approach. When you get the inbound DM, that's also circumventing like the match process. It's happening automated. This is happening while you're sleeping, while you're eating, like, and that's where it gets really crazy, is that we're going around the toughest part of dating, which is meeting new people, like finding new people, sourcing new people. We can do it with precision, right? And then we can not only do it with precision, but we can set it up so that the frame is them coming to us inbound. So when we were talking about the best case scenario for a guy is the girl walking up to him on the street inbound, like
Yeah.
an inbound approach. That's what we, really discovered is like the key that we're focusing on is creating an inbound system.
Right.
But it's not just for no reason. Like it's, with the backbone of value, which is something that you're doing for your community, the way that I frame it, it's like a free service because who's throwing free parties and advertising it, right? Like nobody.
Yeah.
You see ads on Instagram all the time. People are advertising for products, services, buy for this, pay for that. But you're coming out of your pocket, right? Like the ad spend for your campaign might be $50. It's actually kind of like a nice thing for you to do to spend your own money to like, get people to come to a party. Like this is a service you're providing essentially. There's the whole fulfillment on that side of it where it is really like a business. And of course you're going to get women. Like, and of course some of them are going to be really hot. And of course some of them are going to bring friends that are even hotter. And that's where all of the stuff that you talk about and the coaching, that's where it's really necessary because we can set up an inbound like marketing system where there's, the marketing side, and then there's, getting them to show up, kind of like the sales side, and then there's like the fulfillment side, which is how to keep your clients and how to ascend your clients and how to, make sure that they don't get pissed off and all of that different stuff.
Right.
And no, I mean, it's a lot of fun, and there's obviously a lot that goes into it. And I think the more fun topics on some of these subjects is like when you're at these parties, what to say, what to do, how to run it. And I think that's what you're like really, really masterful at, where I do fine, but in some senses I probably lack because you've talked about games that you play and ways that you, make it spicy, maybe a little bit sexual and stuff like that. So I don't know if you want to talk about any of that stuff.